I want you to look at this video. People with loved ones buried here in this cemetery say it's being turned into an island that they don't feel like they can get to. That's because there's a quarry being dug pretty much around it, and they want 21 Investigates to help. Nearly 200 years ago, John Twibell buried his grandson on grounds now known as the North Twibell Cemetery.
The first recorded burial was a grandson, an infant.
Don Maddox has ancestors buried here.
And over here is my fourth great-grandfather on the Maddox side.
This place means a lot to her, so when she drove in months ago, her heart broke.
I wanted to cry at what I saw.
She says the cemetery was a lot harder to get to. She was greeted by no trespassing signs, and just over the edge, she saw this.
What are they doing? Are they going to end up wiping out all of the trees around the cemetery and just leave it as this island in the middle of this giant crater that no one can get to?
A company called Irving Materials, or IMI, is mining for limestone and other materials.
This is recently busted.
Maddox believes the blasts at the quarry are damaging these ancient headstones.
This is in 3 pieces now instead of 2. This was up here.
Plus, when I first met her in June, she says family members had to call IMI to get permission to visit. Those no trespassing signs warn, if you decide to come in uninvited, you will get caught and you will go to jail.
It's not right. It's a disgrace what they're doing, and they don't even care.
And it's not just Maddox who feels that way.
I just wanted to welcome you first and foremost.
Other descendants expressed concern during this meeting. Almost everyone here has a connection.
Ancestors buried in the Twibell Cemetery. Me too.
Children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. It goes on and on. I gathered these photos to show just how many people are connected. Family members who want change. After this, I began to look into Indiana law. Here's what I found. This code says you cannot disturb the ground within 100 feet of a cemetery. But the Indiana Department of Natural Resources sent a letter to IMI saying ground disturbance had already occurred. In one case, as close as 54 feet. You can see it right here. But the DNR calls it a misunderstanding. The agency didn't take legal action against the company. Instead, they approved the overburden. I asked the DNR if the agency planned to charge IMI. The answer, no. The DNR says there's no evidence the company recklessly, knowingly, or intentionally broke that rule about 100 feet. The DNR also says a conservation officer visited the cemetery and determined the damage to the gravestones is from normal aging, not from the digging.
People need to be concerned.
Former state legislator and attorney Mitch Harper has relatives buried at the cemetery. He's been focused on making sure people have access. But there's a problem.
But it's become kind of clear that through various property purchases, the fact that the cemetery was there should have been noted on any purported deeds of transfer, and were not.
Harper says he's been working with IMI to transfer the deed to Harrison Township. He says that would make it easier for them to build a public access road.
People have a right to visit the graves of their ancestors, and really that's what's at play here.
Do you feel like you have an obligation to protect it?
Most definitely.
The day I first met Dawn Maddox, I asked her what she wanted to come out of sharing her story with 21 Investigates.
I just want the cemetery back under the township's ownership. I want access to and from the cemetery.
Maddox says since 21 Investigates began looking into the cemetery, those no trespassing signs threatening jail time are gone. And when she calls IMI now, she says they're telling her she doesn't need permission to visit. Progress toward preserving and accessing what she says is quickly becoming a cemetery surrounded.
Go back 200 years. Go back to the Revolutionary War. People had a hard time getting here, and cemeteries are really important.
I have called and emailed officials at Irving Materials. I heard back from the attorney representing them. He wouldn't do an interview, but says those no trespassing signs were there only to warn people about the quarry, and that the company hasn't denied access to anyone wishing to visit the cemetery. Both IMI and the DNR say they're working to preserve those grounds, and the relatives will be watching. For 21 Investigates, I'm Carly Van Cleve.